This is another 4-player fixed card game with blizzards. And initially I thought going for Australia, but since the yellow player added his troops in it, I will go for South America instead, which is a very great also. It might be actually be very good that he is going for Australia, as with that I won't probably have to worry for him to either going for Africa or Europe, and with that it might be even better for me to go for South America, as I should be able to expand to Africa. Besides already the troops of each single player being in Africa, now there are 3 troops army of mine also, so that makes it even more unlikable for someone to go for Africa. I had to capture those useless territories made of ones, but it doesn't really matter, it should help me fortify my troops from the surrounding places anyway. So just hopefully the blue player doesn't suddenly decide to go for Africa. Almost all of his troops are spawned in Asia and he doesn't really have a good continent to go for. But alright, he moves into Europe, and that's some sort of a relief. I thought he definitely wouldn't go for it when there are a lot of troops of the yellow player in it. But maybe the yellow player will move out, it's kinda up to yellow, whether to move out from North America to Europe, or from Europe to North America. And it seems he will locate himself in Europe. I think the blue player should have moved his troops out from Southern Europe, fortifying them on Ukraine, so the yellow player could easily move his troops out without wasting his troops. Though since the yellow player left his army on Iceland instead of fortifying it to the territory of Northern Europe, on as another army which is the closest to the exit from Europe to Asia, I think the yellow player might not even intend to move out from Europe. Which is actually something that I really like. It could be good to prevent big continent players from capturing their continents. So I helped the yellow player out by moving out my army of troops from Australia, so he could capture it as soon as possible. And with that focus on capturing Europe or whatever he wants to do, but I think he should create some sort of a problem for the blue player for sure, with the blue player not making a path to get out from Europe to Asia. As of now my biggest worry is the pink player. While the yellow player might take care of the blue player, the pink player might be close of capturing North America. And honestly I could prevent the pink player from capturing North America by starting to put my troops in North America. But as of now I'm not really sure if the yellow player will be certainly attacking blue, and then I don't want to leave South America too weak, so none of the players could take it from me, ruining my position. I think a bigger priority for me is to keep holding my South American position successfully and strongly rather than prevent the pink player from capturing North America, as it could really backfire me if the things go wrong. I think right now I'm mostly looking forward to help the yellow player out to get rid of blue. So then after the yellow player capturing Europe, the pink player wouldn't be a big problem anymore with North America. The pink player would invade the yellow player into Europe, and then with them over attacking each other I would win. So I'm just waiting for the yellow player to start crushing blue, or at least was waiting. As with the yellow player putting one of his army in Middle East, I think his plan right now is to capture Asia, so I think I have been wrong of thinking that he has some plans which have to do something with Europe and the blue player. But oh boy, the blue player has traded in a set, and do you think the blue player is going to what I'm thinking he's going to do? And that's right, with the yellow player leaving his Australian position weak, the blue player decided to take it from him, by not seeing any bright future about holding or even at the first place capturing Europe. So that was a good decision for the blue player to improve his position. Or at least it would have been a good decision if the yellow player hadn't traded in a set and looked forward to retake it back with crushing all of those blue troops. The yellow player decided to make a very risky move, which highly worsens both of the players' positions, so there are very big chances that one of those players will get eliminated soon. To be honest, now I could easily take Australia from the yellow player if wanting, and then someone would just have to crush his 10 troops in Iceland in order to take him out. Actually it's quite bad for me that the yellow player didn't move his army out from Iceland, as while the blue and yellow players are fighting each other, I could have taken care of the pink player. But anyway, since I couldn't really easily do so, I decided to rather go with a plan to capture Africa, so that would balance the pink player out by both of us getting the same number of troops. The pink player crushes the yellow player's 10 troops army in Iceland. And to be honest, that's a move which surprised me, as I think that's a bad move. The yellow player could have already invaded the pink player if wanting, but he didn't, with the blue player taking Australia from him back then. I think all of the yellow player's attention was switched to the blue player, so I don't think the yellow player would have considered to invade the pink player when the blue player could possibly try retaking Australia from yellow again. And another reason is that these 10 troops of yellow was working like an additional shield for the pink player against me. When in a 4-player situation 2 other players are about to finish destroying each other, you should really pay your attention to the other strong opponent, as those 2 players might destroy each other that much, that they might even become worth to be taken out for the cards, or even if not, then they could still potentially become weak enough that another strong opponent could afford taking them out even if it costs him troops, but with that still having enough troops to decently fight him in the endgame. And alright, the blue player invades the yellow player into Australia. Hopefully he finishes him off in it, so I could easily wipe him out from Asia getting his cards. The blue player stopped, but I'm still wondering if it's worth for me to take yellow out, both of them, as I have to go through a lot of blue's troops, so then I think I would leave the blue player as a very easy target for the pink player for the cards if I don't take out blue also. Looking to the troops counter, I see that I have fewer troops than all 3 of my opponents combined, 15 troops fewer. But I mean the cards should probably compensate that. Though I'm not sure what kind of the sets I'm going to get, that's possible I could get the worst ones. But most of the blue and yellow players' territories are made of 1s, so that's not going to lose a lot of troops. Usually you lose no troops when capturing the territories of 1s. So all in all I decided to go for it. I didn't firstly crush those 3 blue troops in Middle East because firstly I wanted to see how the situation looks after me taking the yellow player out. But alright, now I see that I can absolutely take him out and have the advantage in the endgame with pink. Probably should have made it 7 troops on East Africa, as 6 versus 3 blitz roll was 91%, but I still lost, and if I had failed the 4 versus 2 also, then the situation could have gone wrong for me. But it seems everything is good now. Obviously wouldn't have left blue for the pink player on purpose when he was so easy target for the cards, and then if with the blue player surviving somehow, blue having a possibility to trade in a set at 3 cards. Now I decided to fortify my 8 troops in North Africa just for the South American troop bonus. Yes, it's a blocked place, but it's a small army, and if the pink player doesn't unleash it, then he will even let me get additional 5 troop bonus for holding South America with Africa. But alright, the pink player seems to give up. So that's a GG. Now I would recommend watching the similar video in which I show you how to deal with another player in a 4-player situation when 2 other players are fighting each other.